Roxo Media House.
From the Flying T Club studios here at Roxo Media House, this is Frogs Today. Football is 1-0 opening the season on the road at Stanford last Friday night with a 34-27 win over the Cardinals and returning to the Carter tomorrow night to take on Long Island University with kickoff set for 7 p.m. Volleyball is on the road again to Waco at the Big 10 Big 12 Challenge as they take on two top 20 opponents. Number 6 Wisconsin today and number 18 Minnesota tomorrow, with both matches getting underway at 4 p.m. Women's soccer took down crosstown rival SMU last Sunday early into the morning, but then fell to state rival Texas A&M in College Station yesterday. Women's golf finished 6th in the Carmel Cup at historic Pebble Beach over the Labor Day weekend, and senior Megan Winans took 9th place overall individually. Frogs Today was there to get those updates. Triathlon and cross country both opened their seasons with wins, and finally we get a chance to visit with beach volleyball Olympians from Team Spain. Dani Alvarez and Tania Moreno on their 5th place finish in Paris. You don't want to miss that sound. It's Friday, September 6th, and I'm your host, Kaylene Cunningham, with TCU Equestrian. This week's episode of Frogs Today covers just about everything, from opening football weekend to races to matches and so on.
I'm Payton Boutelle with Equestrian as well. We start our fall season next Friday in our purple and white scrimmage at our home in Burleson at Bear Creek Farms. But first, football begins week 2 of the season back home at the Carter, and it's Cowtown kickoff and lots to get excited about as they host Long Island University from Brooklyn, New York.
We get reaction from Stanford as well as a look forward to tomorrow night. Women's soccer stayed up late last weekend and played to a win over SMU early into the morning.
Volleyball split at the Emeritus Players Classic in Lincoln, Nebraska, opening their season with a 3-1 win over Oklahoma before dropping a tight neck-and-neck battle number 2 Nebraska last weekend.
It doesn't get any easier for Jason Williams' team as they take on number 6 Wisconsin tonight in Waco and then turn around tomorrow to take on number 18 Minnesota. Senior Mexican international Melanie Parra was named preseason Big 12 Player of the Year and again was recognized as Conference Offensive Player of the Week for her performance last week.
Triathlon and cross country both are 1-0 on their young season opening with wins last Saturday. This makes every fall team opening the season with strong performances.
Beach volleyball stars joined Frogs Today in studio to fill us in on their Olympic experience for Team Spain. Follow us on X and Instagram at Frogs Today and online at frogstoday.com. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
You know, we wouldn't be able to do the things we were able to do this year without the Flying T Club. So we got to continue to get people involved. It's more important right now than it's ever been.
Flying T is special. It's the best thing that I've encountered in college. It allows us to be able to offset a lot of the costs that our scholarships aren't able to cover. If people like winning, invest in the Flying T Club and NIL. This is really great for athletes and just for future students who want to come here and be a part of something special, man. I just think it's great.
It just means a lot to us players to see all the sport, and it's huge.
We are back at the Roxo Media House studio. I'm Kaylene Cunningham with Equestrian. Home football is back and Cowtown Kickoff is here to bring Frog fans an incredible experience, and this is even before the game even kicks off. Get there early and get to the Kelly Center lawn for all the festivities and programming. Get your favorite football player's jersey on sale at upgraded team stores throughout the Carter, and fireworks when our TCU football team gets the big win, and of course much, much more. But all that aside, let's talk TCU football. The Frogs took to the road and spoiled Stanford's opening game with a 34-27 win, outgaining the Cardinals 457-286 in total offense. Our Frogs Today staff got some sound after the game.
Thought Troy and his staff did an excellent job getting those guys ready to play. They came out with an entirely new defense, new scheme. Gave us problems. Not something that we spent a lot of time preparing for, and again, you got to give those guys a ton of credit for doing that. And I thought they did a great job of game planning and putting their players in a position to win the football game. So hats off to Stanford, and like I said, I thought their guys played hard, thought they played smart, thought they played disciplined, and kind of like you would expect Stanford to play. Us, you know, we were fortunate. Anytime you go on the road and you make some of the mistakes that we made, you know, typically you get beat. And so really proud of this football team for sticking with it, just keeping their head down and continuing to play hard and grinding through it, because there was some moments where it didn't look particularly good. But like I said, really proud of the effort. And, you know, we talked a lot about being, you know, tough, mentally tough, and I thought we were. We got down, guys never blinked. You know, when we had to get stops defensively, we got them. When we had to score touchdowns at the end on offense, we scored touchdowns. But, you know, I thought we played physical. You know, we talked to the guys about playing physical, and I thought we did that, and we were able to run the ball better as the game went along. I thought we got a little bit more physical at the point of attack, but we didn't play very disciplined. You know, you think about it. First drive of the game, I think, was kind of the way the night went. We were off the field twice on third down, 2 penalties to keep the drive alive, and Stanford went down to score. It had a long quarterback scramble. And so we made some critical mistakes that typically, you know, get you beat. So we were fortunate to win, and again, credit our guys for sticking with it and making plays and doing what they had to do to win.
It's the ones that I love. You know, my entire life I felt like I've been a guy that lives for those situations, and I think we learned a lot from those situations we had last year, and we worked on it all season. And tonight you saw what happened. Went down there and scored what we needed to. So it's just a credit to our guys and just the toughness, the mental toughness it takes to go and execute during crunch time. And obviously, you know, there were some things we needed to clean up, and we weren't great in certain scenarios, but when it was time to make plays, guys showed up and made plays. So it's a situation you can only dream about. And proud of the guys for going out and executing.
For sure. We were definitely bringing pressure, but I think what it comes down to is just effort, and we played hard. You know, when you do the best you can, usually good things happen. So we played hard, we played physical, we shot ourselves in the foot a bunch, but hey, we did get a lot of pressure, a lot of TFLs, that sort of thing, and there's some stuff we can clean up, but if we can clean it up, we're going to be a pretty good defense. So I'm really proud of the guys for not folding. You know, we came ready for a 60-minute fight, and we had to fight for the whole game. So there's times when it was looking bleak and we were shooting ourselves in the foot and they were up, and I just, you know, felt on the sidelines we were all like, hey, we got this. Let's just keep fighting, chipping away. Good things are going to happen when you play hard, and that's exactly what happened. Whereas last year, I don't think we probably would have come out of here with a win.
Marcel Brooks and Travis Broughton highlighted the Frogs' brand new defense under first-year defensive coordinator Andy Avalos. Brooks had 1.5 sacks and numerous pressures throughout the game, and Broughton with 4 pass breakups against Stanford's top receiver. What a night for receiver Jack Besh. Went 6 catches for 139, trailing 24-20 with just under 7 minutes to play. Quarterback Josh Hoover drove the team down on an 8-play, 74-yard drive, which was capped off by a 4-yard scoring pass to Besh to put the Frogs on top for good, 27-24, with a little more than 3 minutes to go. This is a different team for certain, as finishing games will be the major difference in the success of this year's team. There was no panic from anyone on the team, as well as displaying a next play mentality. On episode 2 of State of the Frogs with Sonny Dykes, Coach Dykes talks about some mistakes his team made and how the group came out of the halftime and were not going to lose the game.
Yeah, I thought we just got settled in a little bit better. You know, had a little bit more of an idea of how they were going to try to attack us, and you know, I think our players started to play with more confidence as the game went on. You know, was glad to see us play a very aggressive style of defense and attack. We created a lot of negative plays, which is good. You know, I think 4 sacks was a big part of the game. You know, getting those guys in some 3rd and long situations. Now, again, we helped them out sometimes by some penalties, and you know, some of them I didn't necessarily agree with, but some of them, you know, that we got to improve on, and we just got to make sure those things don't happen. And you give a good football team opportunities, they're going to find a way to beat you. And as I said, we were fortunate enough to make plays down the stretch and be able to go on the road and win in a game that we didn't play, you know, particularly great.
Dykes is extremely optimistic on what his team is capable of after this opening win on the road.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think what I like about this team was, you know, I do believe we have a true sense of confidence. You know, and I think it comes from preparation and hard work. And you know, every team is different, but, you know, you look up in that game with all the mistakes we made, and all of a sudden we're down in the 4th quarter. Our guys never panicked, never blinked. You know, they trusted their preparation, their work, and went down and put together a really nice scoring drive, and then got a stop on defense, and then scored another drive. And so we're able to create that separation that we should have been able to create earlier. But, you know, it was good to see that. I think this is a resilient team. I think it's a mature team. You know, the leadership on this team is really strong. And typically when you have those things with the number of playmakers we have and the schemes that we're running, you know, I think we're optimistic about how we're capable of playing. You know, we certainly didn't play to that capability on Friday night, but we're hoping to this week.
The Sharks from Long Island University come into the Carter after they dropped their opening game last week to the University of Albany 27-21.
Good football team. Had a really similar game to what we played last week. I mean, they played a good Albany team that were their conference champs in their league last year, a team that's a perennial playoff team. Really dominated the game, ended up losing on the scoreboard, but really physically dominated, pretty much doubled them up in terms of yardage. You know, really ran the football well, had a running back that ran for 128 yards, was impressed with the way the quarterback played. Running backs big, physical, finished runs well. You know, this is a football team that's built on both lines of scrimmage. Really impressed with a couple of the offensive linemen that they've got. But the guys that really, when you turn the film on, stand out are the 2 defensive linemen. I mean, they've got a really good group of D linemen. They got a big linebacker that plays in the middle, that runs sideline to sideline, makes a lot of plays, and then really long, athletic guys on the back end. So, you know, a really good football team. Ron Cooper, their head coach, has been everywhere in the country. You know, his former head coach at Louisville has been very successful. Was on Nick Saban's staff at Alabama most recently. You know, he knows football. I'm impressed with their team last year. You know, it was his second year last year. They ended the season on a 3-game winning streak and kind of picked up where they left off this year. And so, you know, they're a team that I think is probably going to compete for their conference championship. They look like they've got that kind of group, and a really good football team, and a team that we're going to have to play very well against.
Now to women's soccer updates. The Frogs dropped to 4-2 on the season with the tough loss to the Aggies of Texas A&M last night in College Station. But even more difficult was the 3.5-hour rain delay at SMU last week after an original start time of 8:30 p.m. moved to 9 p.m. due to the men's game prior to the rain, and it didn't stop. One delay after another didn't get the game started until 11:59 p.m.
So the game was scheduled at 9. It was originally scheduled for 8:30, but then we moved it to 9 because of the guys' game, and they knowing that they had to mow the field and stuff and make sure that it was ready to go for our game. So we moved the game to 9. Well, it was 9:05 for TV, right? And so you have 3 hours from basically till midnight to get the game in. And if the field wasn't ready by midnight, we couldn't play, and the game would have been canceled. So credit to them for getting the job done, because I didn't think they were going to be able to get the field right. But it was challenging because, you know, we're trying to figure out, you know, when they should eat again and how much they should eat, and, you know, trying to keep them focused on with the potential that we still might play. And, you know, we went in there and talked to them a couple times. So I was really proud of how they responded, for sure, because it was a long delay and all these different things with the weather, and I didn't know how the field was going to be. And, you know, we just dealt with a lot of different types of little things that equal a lot, right? But really proud of the group and how they responded and came out and really ready to go. So the referee is the person that determines whether or not the field is playable or not the coaches. And so it's it takes it out of a coach's hand, right? Or a home field maintenance person. They don't get to make that call. So the referee gets to make that call, and so he's traveling around with his ARs and walking around with the ball and see if it can roll. If it bounces right, and checking all these different spots on the field to make sure that, you know, from a player safety standpoint, that everything is okay.
It wasn't until 2:30 a.m. when the Frogs departed SMU to return home, but happily after a 1-0 win with a 66-minute game-winning Belladiario free kick. Bell was extremely proud of his group and how they performed.
Well, it was one of the best games we played in a couple years, I think. Total team effort, whether you played or you didn't play, the energy was right? And the effort that our players exuded throughout the course of the game was fantastic. I thought Oli Pena was fantastic. She was absolutely fantastic, and her efforts, I think, motivated other people to move and run and work as hard as she did to get the result. But from an attacking standpoint, we did a lot of things that we wanted to do. Defensively, we didn't give up a whole lot. I think they had maybe 6 shots in the game, and you know, maybe 2 on goal. And so I was really pleased with our team's effort and how we played and how, you know, we fought. You know, we fought for 90 minutes to get a good result against a good team. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of bragging rights involved with the crosstown rivalry, and, you know, now they're in the ACC. And so it was a really big win for us, and I was really proud of our group.
The women's soccer team has taken every bit of practice to each game to this point, and they are scoring, maybe not at the frequency they would like, but from a variety of different ways, and enough to be 4-2.
From set pieces, from combination play, you know, I'm really proud of them, right? Because they're doing what we're asking them to do, and they're doing it at a high level, and, you know, hopefully we start scoring more goals from it than how it's been. But, you know, at the end of the day, we can only ask them to do we can only be proud of what we're asking them to do, and they're doing that.
The Frogs are back in action Thursday night as they open Big 12 play, hosting Texas Tech at 7 p.m. It's Residence Hall night, and all students will be receiving free sunglasses. Good luck, women's soccer. Up next is volleyball, indoor and beach. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we simply start by listening to you. Whether you're searching for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, car, health, business, or employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
Welcome back in, Horned Frog fans. I'm Payton Boutelle with Equestrian, and we've got a ton of volleyball to get to, on the court and in the sand. We start with Jason Williams and his indoor team and his 1-1 start, opening with a win over Oklahoma and dropping a tough back-and-forth match to number 2 Nebraska. Has set his team up nicely to take on more top 20 teams this afternoon at the Big 10 Big 12 Challenge. They take on number 6 Wisconsin at 4 p.m. in Waco at Baylor University.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall I was pleased. We, again, a scary OU team that I think down the road could end up helping us out with that win. Very physical, and then moving on to Nebraska, another very physical team. I think we at the end of the day, we felt like we had our opportunities in Lincoln, which is really hard to do. And then we also figured out like some of the gaps that we need to close. But overall, pleased with the result.
Nebraska football just finished their home opener and poured into the Devaney Center, and TCU gave the national runners-up everything they had. Dropping the first 2 sets, but taking the third, the Horned Frogs became only the 4th non-conference opponent in the last 3 years to take a set off the Cornhuskers at home. In front of 8,600-plus fans, the Frogs forced a 4th set. Senior Melanie Parra was this week's Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. Parra opened the season against Oklahoma with a 20-kill performance, marking her 9th career 20-plus kill match.
Well, I feel really good. Like, this is something kind of new, like the last season, but I feel like great about it. Probably next week it's the same thing or different, but I don't know. I think we played really good, so that helped me a lot.
She was dominant from the service line as well, recording 7 aces, a career high, and second most by a Horned Frog in a single match in program history. Let's not stop there. She added 9 digs in that performance as well.
I feel great with Lily. She's a really good setter, and the defense for us, it was great that game. So I think that confidence with the team, it was like perfect for me. I feel more like confidence with tips and rolls and everything. So the team, it was really good. Like Oklahoma played really good, but I think we played better that game.
The Sinaloa, Mexico native was selected as Big 12 Preseason Player of the Year, had 14 kills against the nation's number 2 team on Saturday night. What were her takeaways from the opening weekend going into this afternoon?
The communication with the team, it's like, it was awesome. Like, setter-header connection, it was really good. The middle blockings, it was great. I think that helped us a lot, like, during the game. We have more confidence about it. So, yeah, I think we can do better, but it was great.
Williams saw his team give fits to Nebraska all night, behind Jalen Gibson and Becca Kelly, combining with 21 kills. And on the defensive side, Sarah Sylvester had a season-high 9 blocks. Freshman Alice Volpe got her first career start.
Yeah, I mean, Alice was great. Just her serve receive was really good, and she took care of defensive balls that we assumed that she would. For sure, some nerves there, but I was really happy with her composure out there, especially in the Nebraska match. But for everybody else, I think that's the thing I'm most excited about with this team is there is this calm and almost this confidence internally that we that I can trust the players that are out on the court. So we're just not quite there yet, and even all the other teams in the country, like nobody's playing awesome volleyball yet. But I'm really pleased with the progress so far.
Number 6 Wisconsin and number 18 Minnesota will be a challenge, but that is exactly what the Frogs want. The Badgers took down the Frogs 3-0 in last year's event. What should we expect out of these top 20 opponents?
Yeah, I mean, we know Wisconsin's going to be really hungry, right? They're 0-3, but they're still a top 10 caliber team, and I'm hoping maybe they look past us a little bit and we can kind of sneak up on them. But they're physical, and they're dealing with some change, you know, new setter. So we're going to hopefully take advantage of a few things, but we're going to expect them to come in and battle. And Minnesota's coming off of 2 good matches, you know, a win and probably should have beaten Stanford as well, but I expect them to be playing at their best, and hopefully that's going to pull our best out of us.
I feel like it's a really good team, like number 3, I think, right now. But they are like, they have super tall players. Like the block, it's super high. I think we can do like some tools, like we can use tips and something like that to beat the block. But we need to be more like smart against that team because they are super tall. So yeah, I think we need to be more aggressive, like hitting and serving.
Frogs Today will be at the Farrell Center in Waco on Friday to bring you updates on our socials at Frogs Today. Moving to the sand, Dani Alvarez and Tania Moreno returned to TCU after a year off to prepare for the Paris Olympics, where they finished 5th overall in the tournament. What was that experience like?
The Olympic experience was unreal. It was a dream come true. But not just the 3 weeks at the Olympic Village competing under the Eiffel Tower. It was more about the entire journey, trying to qualify and experiencing all those ups and downs that you face daily at tournaments, with pressure, with excitement. So it was a long ride, but once we were there, I think all the emotions showed up, and we were just trying to enjoy and to be supporting each other to make the best of it.
It was just amazing. The Olympic Games were a dream come true for both of us, as Tania said, and getting to experiencing it together was even better. We worked so hard to be playing under the Eiffel Tower, and I don't know, I'm just so grateful that we both decided to pursue this together, because the ride that it took us there was so much fun.
Of course, the experience was different, but once I stepped on the court, I was feeling safe. But the day before, I couldn't control my nerves. As Dani said, there was something going on with my emotions. My heart beat was like speeding. I was just imagining what was going to happen next day, and that's something that I usually don't do at regular tournaments. So the day before, I was so nervous, so emotional. I even started crying in the table when we were having lunch, because I couldn't control anything. But once I was warming up, I was like being present and focus on what I could control. And when I stepped on the court, of course I was nervous, but not like the day before. And I was just trying to enjoy with Dani, feel the crowd, feel the energy. And of course the Eiffel Tower was right there, so it was distracting, but it was there too, so it was part of it.
It was insane. The night before, I could barely go to sleep. We were chatting with some of their Spanish athletes downstairs, because we have like a hangout area, and they all competed already. So it was like, how did you handle the nerves? And they're like, what nerves? And I was like shaking. It's like the night before. And then like we get to warm up. We do the same routine every time. So we were just really focused on the game. And I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Then I step into the court, first serve, I swing the ball. I never do that. And I'm like, what's going on? I was really, really nervous, but then like few points coming, and then I just started being present, enjoying the moment, and those first few nerves just went away.
As the youngest team in the event, after losing the first match to Switzerland, they didn't look back. They rolled off 2 straight matches to France and Germany to find themselves in the round of 16.
Of course, the first match was tough. We played against Switzerland. We never beat them, so we knew it was gonna be a battle. And I don't know why, but we never play our best game against them. So we had that in mind too, that I guess the pressure was on them because they were always winning. And we just tried to enjoy and to grow point by point, to fight for every point, no matter the score, no matter the result. And we didn't find a good feeling at the first set, and we kind of managed to get it done on the second, and the score was close, and we almost got the second set to go to a tiebreak. But yeah, I think if the team was a different one, maybe the result was also different, but everything happens for a reason, and if that was the first game to lead us win the second win, then it was happened to be like that. So yeah, you never know, but for sure it helped us to get better in our second pool game.
We knew the second game was going to be insane. The day before, the other Spanish, the men's beach volleyball team, they played against France. We could hear the crowd was going crazy because they played against France as well. We knew that the crowd was going to be another battle to fight against. So I think we got all the experience from the first game about like started like nervous and not being present to take everything we could control in our side. And we started really aggressive, we started really strong. And we shut down the crowd, so that was a good thing. And then we started playing our game, and we managed to get our first Olympic win. That was amazing. We had so much family members and so many friends in the crowd, so that made it really special. And then we just continued rolling through the tournament. It was really good.
No one in the history of Team Spain in beach volleyball has won the round of 16, where they defeated the Netherlands and ended up in the quarterfinals, where Dani and Tania matched up against Canada, where their Olympic journey, for now, ended with a 5th place finish overall.
Well, we got that far by winning the round of 16 game, and that was already something historic for Spain because no teams before have won the round of 16 game and qualified to the quarters. So it was already a boom of emotions at that point, and we knew that we had a chance, we had an opportunity to fight for the medals, and that doesn't happen that easy often. So we were out there fighting for every point, trying to get our best level on court, enjoying and supporting each other to fight for that spot in semifinals. The game, the game was close. We missed some details. That was the difference, and of course we were sad because we had the opportunity, and at the end the result was not the one that we wanted. But happy with the entire experience.
I don't know. I get mixed emotions because like, if you tell me 2 years ago that we're gonna make it to Paris and we're gonna get a diploma, getting the 5th place, I will sign it and I will be like, yeah, give me that. But seeing how we lost in quarterfinals, it was so close, both sets, it was just some details at the end of each set. It gives you like a little spine in your heart, like, oh, we could have changed this and like, we could have made it to semis. But also thinking how hard we fought to be there, and like round of 16 game was a crazy game. We were down by so much in the second set, we lost the first set as well, and making that comeback and making it to quarterfinals is also like something that we have to be really proud of. So at the end I think this is something that's really gonna push us to work hard and do better so we can get a medal in LA.
What was it like playing for your country? Being around all your Team Spain athletes and other athletes from other countries, and also being a part of the opening ceremonies at the Paris Olympics.
It's really cool. I don't know, it's a feeling that I'm really grateful that I get to experience that really often, because in other sports you don't really get to represent your country as often. But the amount of support we got from all the Spanish fans was just amazing. We were hearing the crowd in every single game. The crowd was full of Spanish flags. It's something that you cannot compare to anything.
It was beautiful. I'm also so grateful that I had a chance to represent not just my country, but you also represent your family, your friends, all these people that were there supporting you the entire journey. So that's really beautiful. And as Dani said, we got so much support from fans, from people from all over the world cheering for us and sending super nice, cute messages of support. So you don't get the chance that often to represent that, and we had a feeling there that we were also doing this for Spain and for the Olympic Committee as well.
I also think that the support we got from other Spanish athletes was insane. We didn't really know a lot of athletes coming into Paris, but the amount of like you will walk into a person that was wearing the same gear as you, and they will just be like, oh, we watched your game, you did amazing, like keep it up, and like stuff like that. And I think that that's the most special thing about the Olympics, like how all the Spanish athletes are just one team and we all fight to get our country as high in the rankings that we can.
The Olympic feeling is a second to none feeling, but after taking a year off to earn the right to qualify and compete in the Olympics, what is it like being back at TCU?
I'm so excited. I had mixed feelings when I left after my junior year, because of course you don't do this every day, and we were taking a gap year to come back, in my case to do my 4th year and to graduate and to finish something that we started here with the team. So I wasn't sure at the beginning, but as it was something that I couldn't control, I was just focused on getting my business done in Spain with Dani and with the Spanish team to qualify and to make a dream true. So once that was over, I was really excited to come here. I was full of joy, and there was something inside me telling me that this was going to be the last dance and the last opportunity that I would have with the team to make it again to the NCAA championship and to get that trophy back home. So I'm so excited for meeting the new teammates. I missed 2 classes, so it's going to be a new team. I heard so many things about them, and I don't know, I'm just full of joy, and I'm so grateful that of course I had the opportunity to come back after this long journey and yeah, give the best I have to everyone in the program and for the TCU community.
I'm really grateful to get the opportunity to be back for an extra year. I graduated in May on 2023, so I'm just starting my master's. So a lot of new faces to meet, and I don't know, the support we get from TCU is just amazing. I love my 4 years of undergrad. I convinced Tania to come here in 2020, and that was the best thing that could happen to us, I think. Yes, getting to experience this together and playing for Coach Hector, Coach Majo, and Daniel it's an amazing thing. All our teammates, they're such nice persons. And I'm just super excited to hang out with them every day. We push each other to be our best versions. And I think we have a lot of business to do this year, and I'm really excited for that.
What an exciting experience, and we cannot wait to see Dani and Tania back on the sand at TCU. We will be back after a quick break to catch you up on women's golf, triathlon, and cross country. Stay right here.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Before we go, let's get to women's golf, who return home after their strong performance, finishing 6th overall in the Carmel Cup at Pebble Beach along the beautiful Pacific coastline. Frogs Today was there during round 2 and 3, and the Frogs held strong after day 2.
I think as a team we're doing good. As first event here at Pebble Beach is always an awesome place to start the season. Yesterday, I think like the wind in the afternoon, we played 2 hours later than today. So the last 9 holes we had more wind, but also today like I think there was more wind than yesterday, so a little bit too similar rounds, but at the same time really different. But I think we're doing good, and tomorrow we just have to show up like with confidence and motivated, because we are, and ready to finish strong.
You know, we started really strong both days, actually, day 1 and day 2. Today started strong. That wind really came up about hole 6. Started moving right around the actual tougher stretch. Golf course played quite a bit tougher today with the wind, the hole locations, Pebble Beach just in general. So, you know, proud of our fight up there. We had Camille, who finished really strong with birdie, which is a couple things we talked about, was finishing stronger today. So we actually shot better today. I don't know why it doesn't feel like it. I think we had, you know, really high expectations coming in for a great round, but still lots of golf left, a lot of golf left behind us, and we'll see where that puts us. But overall, just blessed to play such an amazing golf course, and to experience the teeth of it today was I mean, it's hard, but it's still really special.
Good. I mean, I personally came out hot yesterday, and then, you know, the team, I don't want to say struggled, but it's just a hard place out here. And, you know, I was impressed with our 2 freshmen, how they handled their first college event, especially being out here. I mean, it's a lot of pressure out here to be at Pebble Beach for your opening college round. So really proud of them and really cool to see that. But yeah, I mean, we've got one more day to go do something special.
You know, let's get something to eat. I think we do need actually some rest. I know they all are like, I want to practice, I want to practice, I want to practice. And it's great. It's great to hear as a coach. It's also important for, I think for us to get some rest, you know, 30 minutes to an hour before we go to dinner. And so we're ready for that final round, feeling good.
It's my favorite place on earth. I know some of my teammates have said the same now. It's so special. I mean, there's so much history here, and just the fact that we even get to play 1 round out here, much less 4, is unbelievable.
I landed from Portugal like a week and a half ago, and now I'm at Pebble Beach already playing the first tournament. It's really nice, really great atmosphere here. And I don't think we could start in a better way, better place. And it's really, really special. And the team knows it, like they feel it the same way as me. And we're just trying to enjoy like as much as we can this moment.
Incredible, you know, that we do get this opportunity with the Ewing family sponsoring this. He's a frog, and and the support at Pebble Beach with their staff and rules officials, and everybody's just so welcoming and just warm. And there's so many frogs out here who live out here, and we had no idea. Every night we go to dinner, people stop us, and so just truly special, and quite frankly making the team feel like movie stars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at a result, but just do something special, whether that's somehow win or, you know, just move up as much as we can, and we'll do all we can to do that.
Maybe try to enjoy a little bit more. Today was a little bit complicated. There was just one more shot than yesterday, but I was really feeling that I could get a good round today, and it didn't happen. And tomorrow, just like same thing, start strong and finish strong.
Really consistency out there, you know. I think we know the golf course a little bit better, so really understanding it. Small greens, so hitting the center of the green, playing a couple holes, maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit more conservative. So just we have a game plan, and really committing to that process and committing to that game plan. We have great players who are very capable, so I think it's really important to uphold what we're all about, and that is being very disciplined, very committed, and very confident.
No better course or way, for that matter, to start the season, and for the first time ever, the Frogs were invited to the event, and the experience was everything and more. What did they take from the experience, and how will this help them moving forward?
Well, it's one of a kind, that's for sure. I've never really played out near the coast like that before, and just the views were amazing. The course was really tough, that's for sure. But I feel like regardless of the conditions, I enjoyed my time being here.
I feel like for my golf game, I feel like I definitely learned more how to club myself in the wind and in with these tournament conditions. And then also I was like, wow, my chipping was kind of good this tournament because all my up and downs, I was hitting them really close, easy, short little putts. And then just overall, I learned how competitive our team is and how good all of us want to do and how emotional we can get because we want it so bad. So I thought that was really cool, and I thought we showed a lot of grit too throughout the course and how we'd come back from bad shots or bad holes and stuff like that.
I think having a really challenging tournament right off the bat just really sets a good foundation, good mindset for the team. Even though the field was a pretty strong field at a pretty tough course, I think what we will do and what we will perform in the next few tournaments will be just as much better than what we did. And also I just feel like it prepares us a lot for the upcoming tournaments.
Strong start for women's golf and just more great experience for our Horned Frogs here at TCU. Speaking of strong starts for our triathlon team, after finishing 6th last year at Nationals, picked up right where they left off with another impressive performance in their second year as a varsity sport, and took the championship over the weekend at the Southern Hill Triathlon Race in Spearfish, South Dakota.
Junior Annie Velcheva led the Horned Frogs, finishing 7th overall with a time of 33:11 to launch her team to the championship, nearly beating Denver 203 to 202.
Moving to cross country, both the men's and women's teams earned the sweep and 5K wins to open the season at the John McKenzie Invitational, an event they host at AP Ranch and finished 2nd at last season. For the women, sophomore Tabitha Nagao defended her first place finish from last year with a time of 17:47.9. And senior Graydon Morris got his first collegiate individual race win with a career best 14:48.3. Morris was first, and 4 of his fellow Frogs finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The women saw 5 runners finish in the top 10.
Cross country will race down I-20 to Grand Prairie tomorrow to compete at the UTA Gerald Ritchie Invitational. The event will take place at Lynn Creek Park at Joe Pool Lake. That will do it for this week's edition of Frogs Today. Thanks for joining us. Stay connected with all of TCU Athletics right here at Frogs Today. We really enjoyed hosting this week's episode of Frogs Today. I'm Kaylene Cunningham.
For everyone here at Roxo Media House, for Frogs Today and for TCU Equestrian, I'm Payton Boutelle. This has been Frogs Today for Friday, September 6th. Thanks for watching. Go Frogs!
Roxo Media House.